Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling, presented by the Idiot Radio Network, offering a weekly look into the world of professional wrestling with guest interviews, news, results, and much more. Now here's your host, Stephon Devereux.
And no, I do not care about the WWE this week because we are going all in. And I'm talking all in for two reasons. Number one, which will probably go down as the best show of the year so far. What them boys pulled off last night in Chicago, incredible. We'll get into that in a second. And Stephon Devereux is going to go all in with his other love, his passion. What makes me get up in the morning? Music. Yes. But more on that later as well. Let's get into what happened last night. Wrestling fans, Stephon Devereux, the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling, I want to thank you for joining us. And we have a new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Cody. Cody defeated Nick Aldis last night, and I'm talking to people, and they're saying, in their opinion, this was the match of the year. Now, I really can't give you my opinion on if it was the match of the year or not, because that's just not my place right now. See, I got to go back and watch the match 2 or 3 more times, see if I'm, control of my emotions. It did that last night. It did. But Cody, can't say Rhodes anymore, I guess. Man can't even use his damn name anymore. That's a shame. Anyway. But Cody became the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And people, you're probably asking, hey, Devereux, you talk about the WWE and all the other guys. You never bring up NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. Well, let's put it like this. I have. Last season, we talked about the NWA quite a few times here on the show. What those guys are out there doing, Mr. Marquez, you got to talk about it. Shouts out to those guys. But Cody, the Bucks, man, Kenny Omega, we'll talk about him in a minute too. Kenny Omega, guys, I'm so proud of you because myself being a wrestling fan for 30 years plus, it felt good to be a wrestling fan last night. It was one of those nights, and the reason why I say, and I brought up my history, 34 years, 30 plus, whatever, years of being a wrestling fan, is because this was one of those nights that will go down in history for me. Because these guys threw a rock at the throne, and the throne did not fall on them. The throne did not fall on these guys. And that throne being Vince McMahon. He did not fall on these guys. And they're going to do this again. And they're going to do it again. And they're going to do it again. And they're going to do it again. This is Dusty's kid, people. Remember that. This is Dusty's kid. He is now the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And I'm hearing that there's going to be a rematch next month in Nashville. Well deserved that these guys were able to do this in front of a packed house. You know who else was in town this week? Well, in Chicago. Yeah, CM Punk. Oh, yeah, I know it's his hometown. But there was pictures circulating, and I was actually thinking, hey, what better way to have All In end, which I still don't understand why that wasn't the main event, but I'm not going to complain. But I honestly thought CM Punk jumping in the ring, wow, GTS on your man Cody afterwards, whoo, that would have been sick. That would have been sick. These fans would have been, well, those fans in that audience, wow, the place would have erupted. But then you think it would have taken away from the moment that they were having. You know, we were crowning a new champion for one of the most prestigious titles ever in professional wrestling. And I get it. Trust me, I get it. The NWA Championship hasn't been what it was years ago. And I get it. People still bring a train number seat through the belt down in the middle of the ring. Damn, that belt's still going. That belt helped draw 20,000 people last night. That belt's still going. I'm just saying. ECW is no more, but the NWA World Heavyweight Championship is still here. Why is that? Because you can't defeat history. You can't defeat history. You're listening to Stephon Devereux, the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling, here on the Angry Kids 24/7 radio, and I am fired up because last night it was incredible. Where are we going to go from here? Where do we go from here? I'll tell you where. Competition is great in professional wrestling. Competition is great in any business. It's great in the business I'm in right now, besides wrestling, but it's great in music. Why? Because artists. What made the Monday Night Wars so good? What was the ingredients? The competition of young athletes, number one. The competition of athletes who have been there for years, number two. And the competition of a company, a writing staff, wanting to be the best, to be number one. Who doesn't want to be number one? That's my question, wrestling fans. And guess what? If these guys continue to do this, and we have other things that's going on right now, like Chris Jericho, who showed up last night, surprise of the night, Chris Jericho, and whooped on your man Kenny Omega just a little bit more. Oh, yeah. I'm not even going to give that away. You're going to have to go see that for yourself if you haven't. Because I was genuinely surprised. I could not believe it. I said, wow, Chris Jericho? Okay. See, these guys know what they're doing. You know why? Because they've been here for years. Cody Rhodes was taught by one of the greatest bookers of all time, Dusty Rhodes. Dusty doesn't get the love that he should get sometimes. Why? Well, because they feel he got out of date really soon. Fell out of date. The kid just, Dusty finishes and so forth. But guess what? He still was one of the greatest writers of all time. So let me ask you this. If the WWE finally has someone competing against them that can actually make some noise, like these guys are doing right now, will it make those guys step up their game? Will it make the WWE step up their game? Will they take notice of what happened last night? You know they did. You know they did. They knew what was going on before because when they heard about the sellout, they're like, whoa. See, Triple H is he's a little bit different than Vince. That's why you see what we're seeing in the WWE right now. It's like a power struggle. But the one thing that will unite two guys who are competing for that same chair right now is another company or another promoter stepping in. Because guess what? Don't forget Chris Jericho and his Jericho Cruise. Come on now. You don't think that's in the back of their minds right now? Like, okay, so Jericho's promoting shows? I mean, I know some great promoters out there. One of them happened to be a really good friend of mine. And he, in my mind, can compete against these guys. And, of course, he would not admit that. I understand. But I believe for what the product he's putting out. Because the product that these guys are putting out, it's not the product that we're used to seeing. It's just beautiful to be able to talk about this. To be able to talk about another wrestling organization besides the WWE selling out over 20,000 people in a major market. Think about that. As I say, competition is good. This could be the greatest thing for the WWE. The greatest thing. And for us, the wrestling fans. Because I will say this. If Vince McMahon thinks, oh, these guys are nothing. He has another thing coming because these dudes are going to do something. I'm telling you. These dudes is going to do something. Now, we're going to transition here very soon after our station identification because we got one of the hottest veteran rappers from the West Coast, and this dude said, I said, damn, you trying to make a comeback? He told me, nah, bro, I never really left. They just wasn't hearing me yet. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that in a minute, this dude, for what he's doing in the music industry, is the same thing that Cody and the Bucks are doing in the wrestling business. It's the same thing. They're trying to get heard and help other young, talented artists get seen and heard themselves. So we don't got too many, we don't got that much these days. Why? Not the way the world works. But as I said before, competition is key. Cody Rhodes, Chris Jericho, the rest of these guys, and I'm sorry I keep saying Cody Rhodes, Cody, and the rest of these guys, what they're about to start doing, because they're throwing rocks at the throne will not fall, I guarantee you. They won't get touched because they have the backing of the professional wrestling fans, and that's the most important entity in this business that you need to have to continue on a mission that they're trying to continue on. We're going to take a break. Station identification, you're listening to the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling here on Angry Kids Radio. We'll be right back with my man Lew Broley. Let's go.
You're listening to Angry Kids 24/7. Angry Kids 24/7.
All right, you're back. We're listening to the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling here on the Angry Kids 24/7 Radio. And sending a shout-outs to my executive producer over at Idiot Radio Net. Those guys, you know what I'm saying, they still doing their thing. What's up, Todd? Just wanted to say that. Anyway, we're going to move on. And we talked about Cody Rhodes. And I'm sorry, it's Cody, I know. We talked about Cody, the Young Bucks, and what they did at All In last night. But we're going to transition into my other love, my other passion, what the Devereux Committee is supposed to be about. You know what I'm saying? And that's music. And I got my man Lew Broley on the. Hey, man, you here? You got to be online. You here?
What's happening? Good morning.
Man, good morning, man. How are you doing? How's everything over there on the West Coast? You know what I'm saying? Because, I need to be there myself sometimes.
Oh man, it's looking lovely over here on the West Coast, man. It's looking real lovely.
Word.
It's looking real sunny right now, real nice, real early right now. Just chilling, getting it together.
Well, I promise I won't keep you too long, but just in case, I want to open the floors just in case we get some people who want to ask any type of question. You know what I'm saying? During this interview, we'll take their calls later, but that's 929-477-1671, and just sit back, wait until we answer your call. But anyway, Lew, now listening to your music, the first thing I felt was, man, this is some real West Coast hip hop. You know, because these days, dudes say they West Coast hip hop, but they sound like they from over here on the East Coast, or they sound like they from Atlanta, and they try to say that's West Coast, but that's not that real West Coast. Lew, is that what got you started?
Well, I'm gonna be real with you. What got me started was a group, a legendary group called Bone Thugs and Harmony, man. That's what got me started. And I'm a West Coast cat, and I'm gonna let you know, when I heard them boys, it was it for me, man. It was it for me. A lot of my influence and style comes from that group, you know. And then as time went on, you know, I kind of developed my own style, you know. And to be honest with you, I love music. I was born to do it, as a lot of us artists would say. No, I was born to do it. It was a gift that was given to me, and I just ran with it. I just picked it. I picked up the ball and ran with it, bro.
What was it about Bone Thugs? Because I mean, I'll tell you myself, it was Busy Bone. Busy Bone. When I was able to hear that falsetto, you know, that falsetto at that pace, it was unheard of. Never. Only singers. We only heard singers, you know, like El DeBarge, with that type of falsetto and on record. But this guy was on a totally different level. What was it for you that made you fall in love with Bone Thugs and actually, you know, enjoy their style?
It was the message, the meaning, the message, the cadences, the different staccato flows. Everybody had a certain seasoning, I would say, a certain ingredients to bring into the group. And you know, my favorite member of all time is Crazy Bone. You know, Crazy Bone is you know, when I was a teenager, I used to idolize him. I used to idolize him to death. So I would have to say it was Crazy Bone and Busy Bone. Those are my two favorite members right there. But the cadences, the message, you know, the struggle, you know, I believe that we all went through the same struggle. So it was like I was the sixth member of Bone. You know, I was like the sixth. I felt like I was the sixth member because everything that they were talking about, it felt like it spoke directly to me.
Now, let me ask you this. Okay, so was it what I love when when I talk to Bone fans, and we're not. I don't want to get into Bone too much, but you're listening to the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling. We're here talking to my man Lew Broley, and what was it? Was it the first album, with Creeping on the Come Up, or was it the second album? I think it was East 1999. Which was? I mean, those first two albums were. Go ahead.
It was Faces of Death.
Wow.
It was Faces of Death. Their first. Their very, very first.
Yes.
Their very first album. And
people
we
forget about that.
Exactly. We're gonna get off of Bone, but I'm gonna tell you what. I found that CD in a trash can on Hollywood Boulevard. Took it home, and there it was.
Changed your life. Changed your life forever.
Exactly.
The way they changed your life was the same way I still say the first time I ever heard Ice Cube. You know, I was a sort of a rock fan, but then when I heard Ice Cube and the way he spoke, it changed my life forever. And when he left NWA, I was Cube was my dude. You know, so I get it. I get it 100%.
He's a smart.
Very, very, very smart. I give him so much credit for the way he was able to transition into film, and now he has the Big Three League, which is, you know, it's popping right now. Last season was okay. This past season that they just finished, yeah, they're doing some big things over there. So, you know, shouts out to my man Ice Cube. But no, about you, bro. Now, what made you want to just say, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go in the studio. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to just, I'm about to take this over. You know what I'm saying? Did you want to rap like Bone, or did you have your own style at the time, or was you, I mean, what was it? Was you ready to, I'm ready to just do this?
It was just, I'm ready to do it. You know, I'm ready to do it. I got my first, I would say, big break with Robert Brookins. You know, I got on a compilation called Sounds from the Mix. Things kind of didn't pan out too well. I was young. I didn't know anything about contracts. And, you know, the rest is history. Rest in peace to Robert Brookins. You know, that kind of set the fire underneath my feet to just be independent and do my own thing. And my best friend, my best friend, my road dog, I've been best friends with this cat for 23 years. We met through, not to bring them up again, but Bone Thugs and Harmony. You know what I'm saying? We met through them, and we kicked it off. You know, we kicked it off real good. We've been friends ever since, and we decided to start our own group, and that's the Lick Hitters. You know, I started doing my own production. I started doing my own thing because at the time I was getting tired of paying for stuff, studio time, and beats that I knew I could have easily made myself. And with the movie, and this is funny, you know, with this movie that I seen, I said it can be done just like that. And I went and watched, we watched Hustle and Flow together. Me and my buddy watched Hustle and Flow, and he looked at me and he said, dawg, he said, all you need is a beat machine and a keyboard and some speakers, and you can do it just like that. And I went out, got me a beat machine, a keyboard, and some speakers, and did it just like that. And then I got turned on to the DAWs. You know, I got turned on to the different music DAWs. It started with Fruity Loops, it went with Ableton Live, and then it stopped at Reasons. You know, and after that, you know, me and my crew, I had a little crew out here, and we went and we created a mixtape called The Session. And it did pretty good, 7 songs. You know, it did really, really good in the streets. And then after that, things kind of went south with my crew. You know, people started, you know, getting into things they shouldn't have been getting into, and my music sat in there for about 10 years. And I got an email. And excuse me, that's what having kids to do. You know, but yeah, man, you know, I had music just sitting on my computer, and one day I said, I'm gonna just put these songs out on YouTube, man. And I put the songs out, a couple of beats out on YouTube, and I got an email from this digital distribution company called Amuse Distribution, and it's been on ever since. You know, I put all those singles out, you know, which only 2 tracks are from me and my group member, Big Stoney. Shouts out to Big Stoney. You know, we got that layered on down in that Hate. You know, I produced the tracks. I produced 2 tracks that are out now called Ride or Die and Bottles, which is by a group called the SSI Boards. So, you know, everything's been doing good. You know, just doing that promotion, man. Keep sharing it. Keep posting it. It's been getting some good streams. And, hey, that's where we at right now with that. But,
well, I got another note. Like this. Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
Oh, okay. Well, real quick, this is the Devereux Committee, and we're here with my man Lew Broley, here on the Angry Kids 24/7 Radio Network. And okay, 2 things, real quick. First, there's a rumor. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that you found out that your song that you did years ago with Mr. Robert Brookins was actually popping over in Japan And you found this out off of YouTube?
Yeah, I found it out off of YouTube. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't too flattered, but at the same time, I was kind of happy. I was kind of happy to see that it's in rotation. 20-something years later, it's still in rotation. I basically still sound the same on that record as I sound on the other records. But yeah, man, it's crazy when you find. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Social media is crazy. It's a crazy thing. Social media is a crazy thing. These YouTube things. I'm not a young cat. I'm not young by far, and I'm not too old. But it was crazy to go on YouTube and search myself because it was just a thought. Hey, let me search this song and see if it's there, and it was there, sure enough. And people in Japan are loving the heck out of it, man.
And you gotta think. See, obviously, it impacted a kid enough. This song impacted someone enough to say, man, we're going to put it on YouTube. And I like you said, I know how you were feeling. You were probably like, hold on, man, where's my check? Number one. And number two, I know you were like, well, damn, they feeling me over in Japan? Hold up. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at it from that perspective.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was bittersweet, but, I appreciate that man for giving me my little small shot. I did a lot of behind the scenes work on that Sounds from the Mix album at a very young age. So,
see, real quick, a lot just to reference, just give a little backstory of Robert Brookins. Robert Brookins actually was an accomplished artist. I mean, he had a hit song with Stephanie Mills. They redid the song,
yes, he did.
Where's the Love? You can go and check it out on YouTube still. And, I mean, that was a hit song back in the day. So it wasn't like you were in the ring with somebody who didn't know what he was doing. He just knew what he was doing a lot better than what you did at the time because you was young and he was a veteran. Understood.
Exactly. And,
that brings me to my next thing, though. That brings
right.
Not to cut you off, but that brings me to my next thing. And I'm going to probably keep you a little bit longer after the show, just in case we get these phone calls in. But, real quick, now, from what I've, done my research, from what I understand is now you have taken that approach, what you learned from him, but instead of hurting your artist and hurting artists, you're actually mentoring these artists now.
Yes, indeed.
Now I went to your your Spotify page, and I said, man, okay, this dude got okay, he's doing some things here. You know what I'm saying? But then the one thing that stood out to me was that you curate a various artists compilation mixtape on Spotify, and this list is incredible. Now, I said, man. Now, of course, I want to thank you because you tossed, your boy Stephon Devereux on there too. But I sat back and said, man, this dude's out here, you know what I'm saying? And then talking to other artists, they say that you're helping them out more. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought that was incredible to find out because you're actually helping people. But real quick, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a break. We'll go to a break, and then we're going to come back, and I want to let you answer that question. Can you hold on for a second?
Yes, I can.
Okay, you're listening to the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling here on Angry Kids 24/7 Radio, and we'll be right back with my man Lew Broley.
You're listening to Angry Kids 24/7 Radio. Angry Kids 24/7 Radio.
All right, we're back here on the Devereux Committee. Got my man Lew Broley here on the Angry Kids 24/7 Radio Network. And to be honest with you, I didn't mean to cut you off like that, but the way the network works, they come and cut me off and say, hey,
gotta pay the bills.
Yeah, they don't play. They don't play. But anyway, now I'm gonna get back to what I was asking because I think this is a really interesting story, and it's interesting what you're doing here. So you're mentoring other artists through playlists on Spotify. I mean, wow, that's incredible to me. So, can you expand on that, on what you're doing?
Okay, so as you know, and as every independent artist knows out right now that has their music on these titles, these Deezers, these Stitcher radios, these whatever digital music outlet that your music is on right now, you have it on there for a reason, and that's to get heard, and that's to basically get your music out there to the world. Now, we are not the Drakes of the world right now. We are not the whatevers of the world. The whatever's major right now, we are not them. We are independent for a reason. We don't have major backing. We don't have a label saying, you know what, I'm gonna put $50,000 into giving you commercial spins and telling the whole world, you need to go to Spotify, or you need to go to this spot and check out this person's music. We don't have that. We put our music up there, and it sits there in lingo until somebody clicks it and plays it. And what I decided to do was, and it took a lot of thought, I said, you know what, I want to create playlists strictly for the independent artists, strictly for those who don't have that backing and that support system. So what I decided to do was create one playlist. Started with one, did pretty good, then it was two, and now it's probably going to be a few more playlists in the making. But the bottom line is I created these playlists so us as the independent artists can all support each other and get our just due. Bottom line.
And that's about time, too. It's about time. Because in my opinion, I think, learning about the playlist industry, because it's a whole industry on its own now, you can get in there, but if you don't get on a right playlist, then your music don't get heard at all. Like, there's some playlists out there that got 14,000 followers and don't get any hits. And I'm on some of those playlists. I can't lie. But your playlist, I'm constantly getting streams. I go to my Spotify for artists, and people, if you want to check me out on Spotify, just go to Stephon Devereux. But I check out my Spotify for artists site, and I'm like, wow, like I'm getting hits from this playlist. And, hey,
right.
I think the playlist game is important to artists these days. But, I mean, as far as, are you doing anything else as far as like with social media and so forth, as far as getting new artists? And can people contact you on social media to be a part of this list?
Yeah, you can hit me on Twitter at I am Lew Broley. You can hit me on my Instagram page at I am Lew Broley. You can also email me at lickhitter.al@gmail.com, and I'll get you on a list free of charge. It doesn't cost you a dime. I'm not one of those scammers that'll say, give me $100 and I'll put you in this big playlist and then basically screenshot the playlist and send it to you and take your song off. Nah, I'm going to put you on the playlist and you're going to get your spins and you're going to be pretty happy with the results.
And that's what it's all about. It's artists helping other artists. People forget, even though it was competition back in the day, artists was helping other artists. They were helping other artists achieve that next level status. Compared to today, where it's, and I just think the game is, the reason why is the game is just so oversaturated. And you go on some of these Facebook groups and dudes are just flat out trolling. Like this morning, this guy's on there trolling, I'm better than Eminem, listen to my track. Like, really, bro, that's the promotion you're doing now?
And then when they listen to the track, it's garbage. All right, sounds
it's
like
garbage.
this. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care how motherfucker take it. Oops, my bad. I don't know if I can cuss on the radio or not. My bad.
Don't worry, after hours. Go ahead, you're good.
My bad. But check this out. Half of that stuff is too auto-tune saturated, and it sounds like the next man. You gotta be original in order to get your place. You gotta be original. Like when you hear that "Lay It On Down" by my boy and me, Big Stoney. Shouts out to Big Stoney. You know, my boy, my road dog. When you hear that, that's original. We singing on the hooks. You know what I'm saying? We coming in on time. We coming in on point. We coming in when the beat drop. We doing it all. We doing it all. When you hear that hate, you hear that harmonic sound. You hear that harmony backing that on that hook. You hear that eeriness. You hear that West Coast flavor when you listening to those songs. It's like, yo, that's something that a person will say, hey, you know what? I'm digging this. I'm liking it. It's original. You know, a lot of times I look on Facebook and I see people saying, you know what? Forget the mumble rap. Where the real rap at? Where the realness at? Where the realness at? And that's where people like us, artists like us, come in at. We bringing it to them real. And it's going to take a while for some of them to catch up because their mind is diluted with this, with this bullshit right now, man. It's a shame.
You're absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. And guess what? We have a phone call. I just hope it's not one of those artists who are telling us that, hey, guys, we sound old, because we're not old. We just know how to make this money in the music business, unlike because a lot of these cats ain't making no money.
Exactly. Hey, but I'm going to let you know it's a surprise. It's a surprise. So whoever on that other line, get him in. It's a surprise.
All right, let's get him in.
It's Big Stoney on.
Oh, Big Stoney. Hey, man, what's up? Another artist on his... Hey, man, I'm telling you, this compilation mix is incredible. If people ain't looking it up, you know what I'm saying, if they ain't going to check and finding you on Spotify right now to check out this list, they're insane, because there are some talented artists on that list, and one of them is on the line right now, Big Stoney. What's up, Big Stoney?
What's going on, bro? I've been listening in, and I respect and what y'all been saying on here. You know, it's a real game.
Well, it is a real game, and I can hear you. I hear you right now.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about your music.
My voice a little bit raspy because I'm just getting up, so excuse my voice.
It's cool, man.
About my music, you know, I just love to put my heart into it. You know, I've been doing it for a long time with my relatives and group members. You know, we just put our heart into it and, you know, let it speak for itself.
And that's all you can do, in my opinion, especially in music today, because a lot of it's so commercial now. There's no real in music anymore. You can hear it. And that's why I like your music and Lew's music so much, because you can actually feel it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just hearing it. I'm feeling your bars. I'm feeling the beats. I'm feeling the stories that you're telling. Yeah. And we don't got that too much these days in music. I mean, do you guys agree?
Yeah.
That's because nobody wants to stick to the formula. See, we stick to a formula that everybody should stick to, especially when you're in our age category and you grew up on the music that we grew up on. You stick to the formula. Just like if your grandma's making that good gumbo, and she passed you the recipe down, you use that recipe for the rest of your life, and everybody gonna love your gumbo because it's grandma's gumbo.
Perfect analogy.
Perfect analogy. Our grandma's gumbo. Hey, our grandma's gumbo is Bone Thugs and Harmony, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Tupac Shakur, rest in peace. You know what I mean? We have a recipe that has been handed down through the hip-hop generation that we use to this day. We ain't busting out no auto-tunes to sing no hook. We ain't doing none of that. We don't need none of that. We don't need none of that. What we need is exactly what we giving it to you, the real. That's all we need. And once they get a taste of it, once they get a taste of that real, like, hey, D, you got that real, bro. You got that real. Family over everything. That's a hip-hop. That's that real. We feel that. We feel that.
Yes, sir.
Amongst other singles that you have, amongst other singles that you got that you need to put, hey, look, you doing your thing out there, man, and we appreciate you. We love you to death over here in the West Coast, and we rocking with you out here, man, because you bringing that real. You know what I'm saying? And you believe in the support system. And you know, hey, what can we say? We're on the radio right now. I ain't never been on the radio. And I'm going to tell you now, my hands are, hey, look, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm shaking like a leaf right now because I'm so dang nervous. But it's good, though. I think I'm handling it very well right now.
Yes, sir.
No,
yes,
you're
sir.
doing good. You're doing good. You handle it like a regular conversation. You were saying something? Were you about to say something, Stone?
I was just saying, man, the way he explaining it is perfect, man. It couldn't be no better said.
Man, look, I put it like this. When we got artists like you guys who are still out here doing your thing, I think that we have to appreciate it. And there's a show, podcast that I love called Drink Champs. And what they do is they try to show, it's hosted by Nuri, and Nuri tries to bring on some of the old school dudes from hip-hop, and he shows them love, and he gives them that platform to talk about the things that they can't talk about no more because no one respects what we used to do or what they used to do. They don't respect that. Yeah. And that's the sad part. The one thing I will say is we grew up with dudes who paid homage to the dudes before them. These new cats don't do that. They don't pay homage, and this is why guys like ourselves, we got to be the voices of that real hip-hop music. You know what I'm saying? That real hip-hop.
Amen.
Not that crap they doing. You feel what I'm saying? And we got to be those voices because if the elders that they call us, if we ain't out here teaching these dudes, then it's just going to keep continuing to lean, if you feel what I mean. It's going to continue to lean, and it's going to eventually fall over. You know, and when it's all said and done, it's going to eventually fall over. But we got about 30 seconds here. Hey, man, let us know where we can get your music at right now, please.
You can check us out on Spotify. You can also check us out on Tidal, Amazon. You can check us out on basically all digital music platforms across the world.
Yes.
Well, I promise you this. When the producers get their hands on this show and they cut it up and put it on a network, don't worry. The music will be played as it is all day long on Angry Kids 24/7 radio because we do represent that real music. You know what I'm saying? We can't bring that bull, man. Can't bring. I mean, you got a couple of Drake songs on there, but Drake bring the chicks, man. You can't get mad at that.
For real. And one more thing. And one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Be on the lookout.
Yes,
Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for that Look Hitter album coming real soon. We ain't gonna really give away the sauce, but we in the middle of working on something. My boy Big Stoney, he gonna come out with his next EP real soon. I'm working on mine right now. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be off the hook. But just look, go to your Spotify's, your Deezers, whatever you listen to. Check it out. Check out the music. Especially get on there. Get on that Spotify. Search up that various artist compilation mix and run that down. Run that to the floor because we have amazing artists from around the globe on there. And it's a love. The songs are popping. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? We got a variety of music on these playlists that I think you guys will enjoy and love.
Man, I appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about. You know what? From here, the Devereux Committee, we appreciate y'all two being on the show. And I'm just letting y'all know we're going to get more artists on this thing. So if y'all want to hit us up, you know what I'm saying, you can know how the email's in the description. We'll make sure that the links of you guys, that your music is going to be in the description as well. And people, I just tell you to go look out for that. And y'all need
one more thing.
I appreciate it. Go ahead.
Hey, D, one more thing, man. Everybody, and this is for everybody. Shouts out to my team on Facebook. You guys know who you are. You've been sticking with us all this time, man. And let's continue to run these numbers up. Much love, blessings. And Lick Hitters is out. Lew Broley out. Big Stoney out. Hey, man, gotta show love to the boss, man. You know, gotta show love to the committee right here for giving us this opportunity and blessing us. Man, we love you, man. We love you to death, man. And stay real and stay blessed.
Hey, real quick, we do get that exclusive interview when that new album come out, right? We need that. We need that.
Most definitely.
Yeah, we need that. We're going to get Big Stoney on there, too. We're going to get him on here in the interview a little earlier, you know what I'm saying, so he can give his backstory as well, because it's time. You know what I'm saying? It's time, right?
Yeah. It's been long overdue. Long overdue.
Let's do this. All right, fellas, thank you so much for being on the Devereux Committee, and we'll keep in touch.
All right, thank you for having us.
No doubt. Thanks, fellas. Listening to the Devereux Committee of Pro Wrestling. Man, we just the Devereux Committee. And I want to thank you for joining us this week at a big show. Man, don't forget, go to the links in the description and check out the music from Big Stoney and my man Lew Broley. And it's on. We'll see you next week here on the Devereux Committee.
You're listening to Angle Kids 24/7 Radio. Angle Kids 24/7 Radio.